To sachet water production, if you intend to make a certain amount of money in bottled water, you need to target your production. So today I'll be giving us like a rough estimate how much you can potentially make if you produce a certain amount of bottled water per day, with the number of equipments, production capacity, all those good stuff. So today's case study will be for 2000 packs. If you intend to produce or sell 2000 packs, or you intend to make 4 million naira per day, you should produce 2000 packs. Now, for the bottling equipment, we have them of various capacities. We have the one that produces 3000 bottles per hour. We have 12,000 bottles, various capacities, semi-automatic, fully automatic. But using our own factory as a case study, we have the 883 monoblock machine. So it produces around 3000 bottles per hour. Now, if you should arrange that 3000 bottles in a pack, this is a pack of our water. This is 12 bottles in a pack. So 3000 bottles arranged 12 in a pack. In an hour, you are supposed to have 250 packs. Now, this means your factory, everything is working well, your equipments are flowing well, there is no any gap in production, your shrink wrapping machine is working well, everything. So it's estimated that at least in an hour, you should have 250 packs. Now, if you sell that pack of water that you produce at 2000 naira, it is expected that in a day, if your distribution system is able to accommodate 2000 packs per day, you should be able to have 4 million naira in sales. Now, when you realize this amount of money, you know it's from this money now you will deduct your direct cost and indirect cost for producing the pack of water and other expenses that are included. So, you know, to produce that pack, there are certain materials which you require. Similar to the sachet water, whereby you need the nylon roll, you need the packing bag. For bottled water, you need preforms, that's your PET bottles. You need caps, you need labels, and you need the shrink wrapping film. Let me carry this pack again. Maybe you will see. So everything that I just mentioned, the preforms, that's your actual bottle. The caps, that's the cover. The labels, that's the label that actually carries the name and NAFDAC number. Then this piece of plastic that holds the bottle together, that's the shrink wrapping film. So the current prices for these materials now in the market, although they fluctuate because some of these things are imported, and to produce some of these things too, you require electricity and petroleum, which has also increased too in the market. So these prices are not stable. But currently in the market, caps, you can get it at 8 naira for per cap. They are usually sold in bags. So depending on which company is selling to you, there are different sizes, there are different quantity of caps in a bag, etc., etc. But just using our own case study, a cap is around 8 naira per cap. Then we have the labels. The labels too, we usually buy them in bundle. In short, there's a factory I visited a while back. They told me since they established that factory, the initial label which they produced, that was like 5 years back, is what they've been using up till now. Because that time they produced it in large quantity. So yeah, I'm sure maybe that time it was even cheaper. It was not even up to 10 naira. So they were able to take advantage of that initial production of the labels, and they produced a lot. So, but yeah, now for you to produce a label is 10 naira. So if you need like 1000 labels, you can do the calculation 1000 times 10 for you to know how much you'll be paying for that. The next is the preforms. So for the preforms, that's your PET bottles. Where we buy our preforms, they sell it per bag. So a bag, you have 1000 pieces. Some companies will sell their own for you is 800 pieces. It just varies. They usually weigh it. So that 800, sorry, the 1000 pieces, you buy it for around 57,000, 58,000. So you should just work these numbers I'm calling should just like serve as a range for you to have an idea. So okay, within this amount, this is how much you will get it. So yeah, buying the bag of preforms, you will have estimated this amount. And for the preforms again, they have different grammage, because depending on the bottle you are making, the grams which you use to produce that particular bottle, it matters. Like for 75 cl, we use 18 grams to produce 75 cl bottle. For the 35 cl, we use the 14 grams. So depending on the size of bottle which you are making, the grammage too matters. For the 75 cl, we use 18 grams. For the 35 cl, since it's a smaller bottle, we use 14 grams. Now the next thing is the shrink wrapping film. That's this particular film, this piece of plastic, which we use to hold the bottles together. The shrink wrapping film, we usually buy them, they have a micron range depending on how thick you want the film to be. That's how neatly packed you want your water to be. It usually ranges from 50 microns to 150 microns. That's like the working range. And I think a kg now, per kg for this shrink wrapping film is around 1,600 naira. So if you want to buy 10 kg, you do 1,006 times 10, and similarly too for the other items too which you'll be buying for production. So after you've understood some of these basic costs for these materials required for production, you can now formulate your own system for calculating your expenses. That's your direct cost, indirect cost for the production of a pack of bottled water. Usually the direct costs, they include the materials which you'll be buying, the water, petrol required for producing, etc., etc. Then for the indirect cost, we have your staffs, the people who will be paying to run the factory, and every other person who is directly involved or indirectly involved in the production process. You have like your drivers and the rest of them. So those are the major things which you will be spending on when it comes to producing a pack of water. I recently worked on a business plan where I just tried to draft out the percentages or the estimate of how much it takes to produce a pack of water, the direct cost involved, the indirect cost, the percentages, and your net profit before tax which you have after selling a pack of water. Now, if you are producing a pack of water and you are selling it for 2,000 naira per pack, inside that 2,000, 55% is estimated to go for your direct costs. So that's for your petrol, buying of materials, etc., etc. Then the next again is your indirect cost. That's payment of staff, payment of drivers, etc., etc. For this indirect cost, we have 30% going there. And after you've removed your direct cost 55%, your indirect cost 30%, you'll be left with your net profit before tax. Now, this your net profit before tax is 15%. Now, after you've produced your pack of water, 15% from that 2,000 is what will enter your profit account. So I hope with this small calculation and this analysis which I've done here in this video, at least you've been able to get a better idea of how much it costs to produce a pack of water and what your production target should be when you intend to make a certain amount of money. So, today we just spoke about making 4 million naira per day. If you wish to make 8 million naira per day, you can now do the cost analysis calculation, and similarly to find a way which you would set your production in a way that you can easily market to people who buy at least 4,000 packs a day for you to make that 8 million. So for you to understand the market properly, I will also advise that in the area where you intend to set up your factory, at least do your own groundwork. If there are a few factories around that area, try to find out from them. You can have a discussion with the driver or with the manager of the factory, just for you to understand the cost of production is and how you can structure your own factory, your production system, everything to meet your desired expectation. I know some people will hear numbers from other people, they might get discouraged. But one thing you should keep at the back of your mind is that the business is different for everybody. The resources and the materials which you have to set up your own factory in a certain manner can be completely different from another person. Just yesterday I was having a discussion with someone who said he was intending to set up his factory in an industrial area that's around that Port Harcourt area. And that place is a place whereby they have 24 hours light, and the light is like basically free for them there. So that person will not be thinking of removing money for buying petrol or buying diesel to run his factory, because they have free light there. And at the end of the month, because power supply is one huge major challenge which most factories face, so at the end of the month that person can be smiling to the bank, and you might feel, oh, I have much bigger materials than him, I have bigger equipment, etc. Why is he making more money than me? You understand? So the business is just different, and every day you get to learn new things when you are in the business. So the major advice here is for you to do more research, especially where you intend to set up the bottled water business, because that's where you'll be able to get at least real-time data on what the cost of materials are, what the market base is there, and a few other information that will be necessary to helping you succeed in the business. I do hold one-on-one coaching sessions on WhatsApp where I go into details on how to set up a water factory specific to you and the resources which you have available. And in this program, I also share a business plan, a building plan, a NAFDAC checklist, and resource contacts too who can help you with the registration, documentation, and every other thing that has to do with setting up the water factory. If you are interested in joining the program, you can contact me using the number displayed on your screen. Just yesterday, somebody contacted me in the coaching session. We had a live video chat where he was showing me the project in real time, and I was able to give my own opinions and advice, and also guide appropriately on what are the next steps and the things he needs to do for him to accomplish that project. So similarly too, if you are interested in learning more about the business, maybe you have a land, you are not sure if you can use that space for production, maybe you are thinking of buying materials, maybe you are thinking of getting one or two things, that coaching call will guide you, and it will also help you to not lose money. Because somebody contacted me too just a few days back that he wanted to set up a water factory, and he got one particular type of filling machine. I think I will include a video of the filling machine. He constructed that factory now for over a year, and he has not been able to get the approval of NAFDAC, because when NAFDAC visited his factory, they saw the machine and they said they won't approve that machine for the kind of production which he was going for. The coaching session is meant to serve as a guide that will help you not to make costly mistakes when setting up your water factory.